Today we are showing you what you can get in Colorado Springs with land. We're going to start off right at an incredible listing on 5 acres overlooking Pike Peak views at 1.6 million. So stay with us and come on in. Okay guys, we are here for a treat. We are showing you a listing by a cutting edge realtor. It's his listing. His name's Mike Rosenhan, but we're so excited to show you homes on land here in Colorado Springs. So this is a $1.6 million home you're about to see, but really the value in this property is what waits out front. So stick with us. You're gonna check this out. 5 acres here in Colorado Springs. So this home was originally built in 1973, and as you can tell, they've done some extensive remodeling. So just to start off, this grand entry with this floating staircase that goes up, and I know this is going to be really hard to see, but it is just a wall of windows, double stacked windows, that has some of the most amazing views of Pike's Peak and the Air Force Academy I think that I've ever seen.
It really looks, I'm trying to zoom in so you can kind of get, even looks closer than that. I would say in the camera, it does have a huge presence in this home, and it has that floor to ceiling windows.
And we didn't even turn on any lights. It's just this passive sun that comes through, which we actually have a client right now looking from Spokane, and she was saying that this is what they miss, this bright sunshine and the Colorado outdoor feel. So you walk in, this room does have a gas stove in the corner here, and I'm noticing all of these double stacked windows do have, it looks like, remote blinds, so that if you did want to shut off some of that sunlight, you can. Just a huge, great room in here, so it kind of flows into this giant living area where they've done some nice built-ins, some upgraded recessed lighting. There's solid hardwood oak flooring throughout this main floor, but just a very unique property.
And then
so then you flow into, it's this open concept, very large area. They have a large table here with some really nice chandeliers. But again, from the dining table, you look out and you see Pike's Peak and the entire Front Range. So they've upgraded a lot, just about everything in this home. And as you can see, this is like a chef's dream kitchen. So there is a total of 3 sinks in here. You have a beverage sink, your kitchen sink with an undermount, and then behind you, you have an entire butler pantry with an additional sink and refrigerator in here. There's quartz countertops, a couple different pantry areas, different prep areas as well, but just beautiful cabinetry, beautiful countertops, an undermount sink with the window right over it. And once again, if I'm sitting here from this induction cooktop, looking out, I'm literally looking at the entire Front Range out my window.
Yeah, we're gonna take you out there in a little bit too and show you what that looks like firsthand.
So then on the first floor, you have a powder bath, a bedroom, and then also a workout room as well.
This is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath home.
Let me double check that.
If I remember correctly, but look at the workout room here. So designated workout area.
Yep, you're correct. 5 bed, 4 bath. Let's talk about a little bit about the community. So there is an HOA in place, or covenant enforcement. Your taxes out here, even though you're at, looking at a home that's $1.6 million, the taxes are just under $4,000 annually. Here in Sun Hills, again, this home's on 5 acres, but we were gonna check into covenants because Lori and I both did not know what's actually allowed. Like, can you have
There's covenants, I just don't know how strict.
But look at this, from even the upstairs in these stacked windows, again, peak views all the way around Air Force Academy.
And 5
no lights
acres
are on.
in the center of town.
And 5 acres. You're right behind the school, Discovery Canyon campus as well. So we are standing here in the primary suite of this amazing home. And one thing I want to point out is that they've kept the windows, which may seem like different, but you can still see out the windows and see the entire peak views. I love this touch up here. So primary suite's a nice size. They have also done a really nice job. They added on a master closet, or a primary closet, I should say, and done a really nice remodel. There's the same tile that goes all the way floor to ceiling. They've done a nice floating vanity, really nice lighting upgrades throughout this entire home. So down the hall here,
On the catwalk.
we have an additional 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. Here's a secondary bathroom on the 2nd level, and as you can see, walk out, again, views. They've even kept the windows in this secondary bedroom.
It's a
And look
larger
how
bedroom.
nice they are, that huge air, like sizing, but you can see out the windows, again, front and back
closets.
to this room. This is an office,
A dueling office.
and check out what you get to look out and see while you're doing your work up here.
Yeah, it's pretty
Really nice crank out windows. There is closets in here, so technically, and pocket doors to keep the hallway clear. There's bedroom 3 on the upper floor. Again, we're on hardwood still. No carpet in this room, or this home. And then at the end, you have laundry and a 3rd bathroom on the upstairs. So yes, this home is beautiful, but the value really comes in the land that you get. So an entire 5 acres right outside these doors, and an incredible patio area to overlook the entire front range.
Option number 1. Today we're showing you homes with land here in the Colorado Springs area or North and Monument. This is one in the center of Gleneagle. You can have horses here. So if you want to have horses and be the center of town, this land, 5 acres, is ideal. You can do different outbuildings. There already is an existing outbuilding at this house, but really good option here.
And
1.6 though.
And what's amazing is you're still, like, the school is just over the hill.
You're close to everything. You just don't see this much land in the center of town very much.
Yes. So I will say we get a lot of phone calls from people moving to the Colorado area, and a lot of people, I think it's they either want lifestyle, or they think of like Colorado is kind of like the Wild West, like they want land and their urban farm and whatnot. And to be very blunt, if you want a good amount of land, you will most likely need a budget of over $1 million.
It's true. I know people call and they're like, well, I'll just build. And you can't just build a home. You can't just, it's really hard to buy a plot of land here in Colorado Springs, especially when it's desirable.
Built, that's not already acquired by a major developer.
Correct. And then pay money for a custom builder to build that home less than $1 million. Most of the time you're at 1.5.
Correct. I was gonna say a more realistic budget I would think is 1.5 and above. Now, even if you're looking, I just set up a search for someone this last weekend, and they were looking at just a 1/2 acre or more, and that's even hard to come by.
Yeah.
So a lot of our lots that you'll be able to, or, you know, housing developments, if I put in 0.5 acres, it really limits you on what that feed is giving you. And so if I can just knock it down to even 0.3 acres, but we can find something that backs up to open space, if you're just wanting that privacy factor, the views, that can be done with, you know, that with less than a half an acre of land.
Right.
So if you do find something that happens to be below, you know, or even at that $1 million price point and it's on acreage, most likely it's going to be somewhat of a project or a fixer-upper.
Right, there's little pockets. So when people say they want land, we kind of think of a few different areas. So there's, you know, little pockets within the town, like what house we just showed you. You are going to pay for that land. It's going to be at 1.6.
Sun Hills.
Or in the northern part of Colorado Springs. We're taking you now to Kings Deer, which is also 2-acre lots. They do have more of like an HOA stricter covenants with it. You're not going to have horses on these properties. If you have a building, it has to be, it look exactly like the house, be approved through that. It sits in a golf course.
But you'll have space and privacy.
You'll have
out there.
Yeah, not quite as treed though, which is you might see as well when we get out there. Flying Horse North, you're going to be at least at 1.5 million, but there are larger lots out there.
And I will say that is a very treed area opposite of Kings Deer.
Yep.
Like either you like trees or you don't, but we had somebody looking and they kind of wanted a cleared out area. That's going to be a little hard up in Flying Horse North.
True. Winsome Ranch is another custom builder out there. You're looking at like 1.3-ish. There are some inventory homes.
A little bit on, but not quite to Falcon.
You get mountain views.
You do get mountain views.
But it is like a little more of that eastern, you're a little bit more out of town.
And a lot of those Winsome Ranch ones are not like for horses and animals, but they have outbuildings, they have RV garages, they have like a cohesive fencing between all of the homes. And so it really is more of a aesthetic, but you also have like detached, like if somebody just wants detached garage space, maybe that big outbuilding, then I would suggest Winsome Ranch. But you can't really have animals out there.
I'm just going to keep going on my list of places I would refer you to, depending upon what you're describing. When people say they want land, they want it for a variety of different purposes.
Yes.
Cathedral Pines, grand homes. We did a driving tour through there. Custom built homes.
But you have more walking trails.
5 million.
And lifestyle.
But you're not going to have horses there. Now, if you want that true, like I want my land and I want to do what I want on my land, there's some pockets in Black Forest, I would say, where you can do what you want.
Or way out east.
Or way out east in like Peyton.
And that's about it,
and that's, honest. Unless you're getting out into like the eastern part of Colorado, like Kansas area.
I was going to say, it
like
starts to feel like Kansas. And to be honest, any of the plots of land that are closer to Colorado Springs, they're already built on if they don't have so a lot of times it's a resell, and then you'll be needing to make it your own or upgrade it in some way.
Now let's say you have a budget of like $800,000. I think if we got you on a search and were very diligent about it, you could find 1+ acres in Black Forest with a dated home. So a home built in the 1970s, tri-level, on some acreage, but it's going to be a DIY project. You're not going to have that home that's new when you walk in and you're like, oh, update.
Open floor plan.
Not going to happen, you know, but you could take that home, take your time to remodel it, have the acreage to possibly have horses or chickens, goats, alpacas, whatever you want. And outbuildings, we have clients do want outbuildings for this one built sets to do wood shopping. Have they done?
Vehicle storage.
Yeah. So that's possible, but you're not going to have that new home.
No.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. I did film a home out in Meridian Ranch, just outside of it.
Okay.
The other day, it was 900,000, maybe 990. I can't remember. To me, it was priced high. Even the agent
I know which one you're talking about.
This agent had never seen the listing before, and he called me and asked me my opinion. I was like, how do you list the home and have never seen it? It just blew my mind.
How many acres was that house on?
I think that one was on almost 3 acres.
3 acres, that's what I was thinking. Did you have a view out there?
You had a view. It just needed some TLC. I could see it. Like it needed new countertops. It needed new paint. It just pulled super orange to me.
But good bones?
Yeah, decent bones, a lot of square footage, but you're at $1 million and you're out east in Meridian Ranch, and you would have to put some work and money into that home if you wanted that updated feeling. I mean, I'm thinking you'd put in $70,000 at least to update everything. You could put $20,000, do flooring.
But you could have animals out there, and you could have outbuildings out there.
Yes, I believe at this one you could as well. To me,
like this home on our right, your left, that would be something you could most likely get for $800,000-900,000 out here on a little bit of land.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to wait for those to pop open, and you're gonna have to be a little creative. Now, if you want something on my left, your right, it's the newer build with more modern features on the inside. You're most likely at least $2 million for something like that on land. All right,
we got through our construction zone.
So we are heading up. It's called Roller Coaster Road, and it's kind of like up and down. It's kind of fun. Trees, so we're going through Black Forest, and then we're heading over to that Kings Deer area, and you'll see that it's treed, and then all of a sudden it opens up into this field. And Kings Deer actually is it a private golf course or a public?
I think you can play it. Yeah, you can play it. My husband's played it before.
Public golf course then, and you're up in the monument area, so District 38 schools.
Yep. So we're going north, and a Black Forest is like a hodgepodge. It's when we have a listing here, it's always interesting to run comps because you'll have an older home that's 1,800 or 18,000. Oh my gosh, 1,800 square feet.
Okay.
And then you'll have a new build home that's 6,000 square feet. So you have the yin and yangs, I would say, through this whole area. You never know what you're going to get. Life is like a box of chocolates, I said, for the weather here. You never know what you're going to get, and it's the same thing here in Black Forest. No two homes are the same. Much more treed area.
Yeah. And there's subdivisions within the forest, but for the most part, it is very your box of chocolates. But there's Sanctuary Point. You can't really get acreage in Sanctuary Point, but if you want forest.
I love Sanctuary Point.
Yeah, if you want forest and newer homes in a planned community, you can get that. But a lot of Black Forest is like older homes that have been here for a while, or land that was sitting here that somebody bought and did build new on. One thing I want to point out, anytime we're dealing with houses and land, because that really is the title of this video, most likely we are going to have to go down the rabbit hole of septic tanks, Lori's favorite, and wells.
But special inspections, always my favorite day. The last house was on a well. So, yeah.
So we have different areas that are on shared wells, or you can have a house with an individual well. Actually, this may bore you guys. It may be very helpful.
But I just want to, can you see, look, if you're looking at the view right now, look how it kind of opened up. This is Kings Deer.
This is Kings Deer. Okay. So real quick about wells.
Go back to your well
So
story.
You can buy a lot or a piece of land with a well on it. But my question to the seller of that piece of land, the listing agent, was, can I put 2 residences? Because there was no covenant saying no. There was no HOA telling me no. And really, it's the output of that
water usage?
Of the well that tells you if you can or cannot have multiple residences and or barns and livestock and all of that, because you can't put 2 wells on one piece of land. So I thought that was really good information. And so and it's hard to tell the usage of that well itself, and so I actually had to call the well company that permitted that well to ask these questions, and they actually had to call like a water court up in Denver.
That's the rabbit hole you went down.
That's the rabbit hole. So then septics, that's a whole nother ball game as well, but just know that we help you walk through what the county requires, and we have a couple different counties here. as far as the real estate transfer and the septic, they're all a little different. Like Teller County is different than Douglas and different from El Paso. So some you have to do that inspection prior to, some it's not required, and so we can help walk you through if the home's on a septic, what county that's in and what the rules and regs are. So we are 0.7 miles from this next house. This is like classic Kings Deer.
Yes, this is what Kings. Some lots can be a little more wooded.
And you don't see like RVs parked out here.
Nope. No
if
RVs.
There is an outbuilding, it has to match the primary structure.
Yep, you have some new builds here. I've seen a few new builds pop up here and there, but a lot of times they're already existing homes in this area as well. A lot of these homes are large homes. So if you say you want a 1,800 square foot home, you're really not going to find that here in the area, probably. I should never say never in real estate. It's one thing I learned.
But not really.
Not very realistic to find that here. So you will find multiple garages, that kind of thing. We're back. This time our phone overheated and it went to sleep. It said it was too hot, so we had to let my phone
That's right. Down. We are literally 0.3 miles straight up ahead.
So what I was saying though is that I think what I really want to reiterate with land is that when you guys reach out and say, I want some, home with acreage here in Colorado, it really depends upon what that means to you. Do you want that grand new build home on land? Do you want it to have covenants? Do you want it to have horses? Do you want to have outbuildings? Do you want to be close to town? I mean, there's such a vast difference between what people say when they want a home with land, that it really helps to have a conversation on what that means to you and what you want from that land.
And the difference in usage, and also what is the budget? Because if you're like, I'm fine, I don't need a large house, I only want 2,000 square feet, but we want 1+ acres, to me, you're gonna have to be okay with an older home then, because they don't really build new homes with that criteria. I have yet to see one.
We like big homes here in Colorado, especially at that price point. It's hard to find a smaller home that's new, updated, and it's even hard to find a piece of land that a custom builder is willing to build a smaller home on, because they have a certain criteria. There's so much demand for them to build. Is they're usually building at the $1.3 million at least.
Plus.
So we're here at this home here in Kings Deer. I'm excited to show you this one, 1.25. We're gonna get out and take you through this one as a little personal tour. So welcome to this home that sits on 2.5 acres here in Kings Deer. Excited to show you this one today by Josh Horwitz of Capital Properties Group. Come on inside. We're going to show you this one today, listed at $1.25 million. Hey guys, welcome on in. This is almost a 7,000 square foot home. So if you only want an 1,800 square foot home, this one may not be for you. We're talking about 7 beds, 4 bath, 6,800 square feet. So let's take a look and see what we got here. Currently we're listed at $182 a square foot. So when you walk in, it does have this little modern chandelier. I would say this is like a large dining room. I'm trying to think of the purpose of this room. I would think you'd put a large dining room table in here, maybe a hutch. You could obviously use it for whatever you'd like. An office, playroom, but I see a large dining room table here. So then you head on into the kitchen. So again, this home is a little bit older. It was built in 1998. So my math shows me it's about 25 years old. And they have done some upgrades to it. You can see countertops. Fridge actually was brand new. They do have gas on the island here. Gas cooktop, it is a little older. And cabinets are probably original to the house. Good solid cabinetry, but I could just say they are a little bit older looking compared to some of the other features. Ovens are obviously brand new as well, so you have the wrapping still on those babies for you. And then here's another large dining area as well. So I guess it kind of would depend upon how much eating area you want for what you do with each room. Now let's take you outside. It's a little windy today. And I want to show you out here. It does have a wood deck. It's not that Trex decking, but if you don't want to see neighbors and you want privacy, this is a really good option here. Again, you can't have horses, you can't do you remember, Kayleen, can you do a separate outbuilding as long as it matches and you get HOA approval?
Yep.
I feel like that was what we ran into before, but you can't just build any outbuilding.
And you can't just park your RV outside, but you can put it in an outbuilding, but the outbuilding has to match aesthetically.
So this is living room, you can see, which leads into, and I'm assuming they're considering this also a bedroom, but double French doors on this, a lot of natural light. And sometimes out here, if it's a lot of trees, it can be a little darker. And I do feel like it's mitigated enough here that you do get natural light in here, along with those tall windows up there. Just need a little bit of cleaning up there as well. Let's take you guys down here a little bit. I want to show you there is a smaller half bath on the main, which is nice. This leads to a mud room. And then this is the garage here. So it is a nice, if Kayleen can take you out there, a 3-car garage. So a lot of room for parking 2 cars, maybe some extra Colorado toys that you may have. School district here, if you remember, now we're in Monuments. We're in Lewis Palmer District 38. You have Prairie Wind Elementary School, Lewis Palmer Middle School, and Palmer Ridge High School. So taxes, again, remember this house is listed at $1.25 million. The tax amount on this, as of last year, the taxes have gone up a little bit, but as of 2022, around $3,700 a year for taxes and HOA. Remember, there is no HOA here, it's $316 annually. Let's come upstairs and I'll show you the upstairs. There are 3 bedrooms up here. Master is huge, so let's take a look at that. And then you do have 2 additional bedrooms up here. We're gonna go into the additional bedrooms first.
Sure.
Save the master for last. So good sized bedrooms.
Nice window placement, good size.
Yeah. That's just a linen closet. And this is that secondary bathroom up here that they have redone. It looks like part of it. Secondary double door closets, good size as well.
You can see the trees throughout every window up here.
Yeah, it gives you that, I mean, for this area, it gives you that Colorado feel. Some homes in Kings Deer, it's more mitigated. Like one of the listings we had, the trees were, I would say, further away and it felt more flat.
Holy cow, this is huge.
This is a huge room. And that's
and this is that
Juliet balcony.
Where you were standing.
Yes, where I was greeting you from. But huge area, and it does have some views of those mesas, rolling hills over there.
Some of the mountains.
Not like the Pike Peak view, but it does give you that Colorado-esque feel.
This is probably one of the biggest master suites I've seen.
Now this one's remodeled, which I love. So, like I said, these homes here are a little bit older, the late 90s, early 2000s, and so sometimes you don't get the updating. But this is 1.25 million, so they have done some upgrades, which is nice. If we see homes here closer to $1 million, I do know probably pretty quickly that they need some updates. Especially, this is a huge home at almost 7,000 square feet. I need a house cleaner with this one too. Let's do the downstairs. I want to show you the basement that does add to the square footage. So to me, this is what you want to do with it will depend upon your lifestyle, number of people in your family, because it's a big basement as well. So you have one large bedroom here with Jack and Jill updated bathroom through the center. And into the secondary bedroom down here. So this basement is not a it is a walkout. So when you came down, there was a walkout. This is kind of funky, I will have to admit. There's like a wet bar, but it's kind of in a corner. So I'm like, you're gonna make drinks here, and then, I don't know, usually it's all in the same room, it's just a little different. So I don't know if you could readjust that layout if you wanted to. And then another bedroom here. Really tall ceilings, it just needs some warmth down here, I would say, if I had to pick. So I think it's interesting, you can see some of the updates they've done, but you can see the 1998 coming out too.
So if you're looking for a home on land here in Colorado, Lori and I know our neighborhoods well. We know about covenants, HOAs, and other details that may be very important. We love to discuss the lifestyle you're looking for and what you would use that land for. So if you're wanting help in that land purchase, that home on land purchase, make sure and reach out.